여러분 안녕하세요. Korean Dream J Dream 제림입니다. Today I wanna briefly introduce all these terms you hear in 사극, historical Korean dramas. A lot of times we are seeing royal family and you hear all these terms like mama, 전하, 저하. So let's start with the king. King, 왕. And that's Chinese character, Sino-Korean. In native Korean, it's 임금, and of course you'll put this 님 honorifics. Like in 선생님, 대표님, how people will address the king. From his 신하, subjects, 전하, 주상전하.
전하. 전하의 탄일이지 않습니까?
상감마마. So this mama, all the subject, 궁녀, 신하, will address all the royal family just mama in front of their faces, basically.
혼자 여기서 뭘 하고 계시는 것입니까, 마마?
하나부터 열까지 다 아리 됩니다. The royal family who's older than him. Most of the time, the previous king passed away, but the queens, the wife of the king, still lives because they could not leave queen's position empty. So, until the king passed away, they always replaced the queen's position with the new queen, and new queen was always between 15 to 20-year-old girls. So they outlived the king by far. That's why you see a lot of 대비, which is the king's mother, not necessarily birth mother, the queen, 왕대비, 대왕대비, king's grandmother, king's great-grandmother, because they were so young when the previous kings passed away. Those royal families who are higher and older than the king will call king 주상, king's wife, the official wife, 중전.
중전.
So you hear 중전마마 or 중궁, and that's why where they stay is 중궁전.
중궁전에 가 있을 줄 알았더니 언제 왔느냐?
Besides 중전, everyone is 후궁, king's son. The first son is 원자, and once that first son is appointed as crown prince, he is called 세자, and 세자's wife is 세자빈. In dramas, when people are addressing 세자 instead of 전하 that you hear to the king, it's 저하, 세자 저하.
저하, 서연에 드실 시간 이옵니다. 일단 제 것이라도 쓰시지요, 저하.
How does 세자 call 왕? In the formal settings, they will address them as the king, 전하. But in personal, family, casual settings, they'll call them 아바마마, 어마마마, king's grandson. Today's vocab also has 손자, 손녀, 손주, and that 손 is also in this term, 원손. Once they are appointed as the next heir after 세자, king's son, crown prince, they are called 세손, 세손저하.
내가 사모하는 사람은 세손저하야.
세손저하를 사모해?
저하, 약재를 넣겠습니다.
잠시 돌아서라.
how people address themselves, how they call themselves. The king addresses himself as 과인. 과인 is a humble way to refer to himself.
세손은 결코 과인을 실망시키지 않아요. 특별하지요.
과인은 사도 세자의 아들이요.
You've heard 신첩. That's how the queen, the wives of the king, referred to themselves to be humble in relation to the king as well.
신첩이 정성으로 예쁘게 빚은 것이옵니다. 어서 젖쓰시옵소서.
아니 할 줄 모르면 그 수락관 궁녀들에게 대신 해달라 말았지.
전하의 탄일이지 않습니까? 꼭 신첩이 직접 만들어 올리고 싶었습니다.
So again, Your Majesty comes in mama to any royal family. 전하, king. 저하, king's son. What about nobles? 양반. The highest, like I guess ministers of certain government divisions nowadays, will be 대감.
여기 계셨습니까, 대감? 잘 보내주었느냐? 예, 대감.
Below that will be 영감. Squid Game, 영감님. So that's how you kind of respectfully address older male. 영감님. That's why he called this old number one 할아버지 영감님.
영감님. 영감님.
The rest of noble families that are not in that higher up positions were addressed as 나으리, which you heard a lot in dramas. 나으리. Lastly, a couple phrases that you hear all the time. 성은이 망극하옵니다. Your grace is unlimited. Thank you. 감사합니다. Basically. 통촉하여 주시옵소서. Please reconsider it. Think again. Please listen to us. 황공하옵니다. Lastly, that op in there disappeared. That ending disappeared because it was only used to the king. Nowadays, where you will see is probably religious texts, prayers, and such to the gods. So, that's it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. 그럼 소인 물러가 보겠나이다. 안녕히 계세요.